anything. How? Like when they make fun of a big mega corporation, military industrial complex like Vought, which is basically like this, you know, it has its own like news network. Fox News, by the way, is the identical news network. But like when they see Vought do like, you know, for Black History Month or whatever, we're going to put A-Train in the front. Like when they see that, do they think like they're making fun of liberals just like I make fun of liberals? Because like I don't think conservatives make fun of liberals in that same way. I think conservatives just get mad. Like they take that shit just as seriously as liberals do, if not more seriously. It's very strange stuff overall. Very, very strange stuff. This was, I mean, this is from like the last season. I mean, this is from this past season when like the criticism started on season 4. I guess Eric Kripke, The Boys was always about Trumpism. The showrunner literally says he's fine losing the viewers who just figured out a social agenda. Go watch something else. I guess it's because season 4, and I wasn't aware of this, but I guess it's because season 4 directly like ties it back to the election cycle or something. Now, the critical drinker I have reacted to many times over. Okay, I've reacted to the critical drinker before. He is just an out and about. Wait, is this the one that's an out and about Nazi? No, that's a different one. That's like the rational thinker or something. The critical drinker is the Scottish one, right? This is not the Fallout guy. He is an outrage farmer, though. He's just like a right-wing guy. How to Destroy Your Audience from The Boys Season 4. This has 1.2 million views. 1.2 million views in one day. The critics predictably loved it. The audience, unfortunately, hated it. I need you guys to understand something, okay? This kind of sentiment pops the fuck off on YouTube, okay? Like, people get so angry when finally the subtext is, I guess, like when a change occurs and like the subtext was never a subtext, I guess, is like so brutally bludgeoned into these fucking brains of these dumbass charlatan right-wingers that they finally are like collectively like, oh, okay, I guess this is making fun of me. And then they just collectively look for some other fucking old asshole that will just churn out the most bottom of the barrel right-wing nonsense. So, without further ado, while I have not seen season 4, I think I'm going to watch this because I want to see.
The question that comes up pretty regularly on Open Bar these days is, Drinker, you tough-talking, charismatic gunslinger with a dark past, when are you going to review The Boys Season 4? The Boys.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
You know, I used to be a real fan of that show, to the point where I actually gave the first season a Drinker Recommends Awards. And truly, what higher accolade can one bestow upon a work of art these days?
Wait, so you watched the first season of The Boys and you liked it, but the 4th season of The Boys you don't like. If this is purely on politics, nothing, I suspect, has changed from season 1 to season 4, because season 1 was still very much political and absolutely like outside of the boundaries of like liberal politics. Like it was making fun of liberals and conservatives alike from a leftist position.
Anyway, at a time when the superhero genre was already becoming kind of stale and played out, the boys came along to completely tear up the rulebook. Funny, violent, irreverent, and wickedly subversive, with a complex and well-written cast of heroes and villains, plus a whole lot of other characters in between, and a story that brutally skewered everything from fake corporate activism to our obsession with celebrity culture, media manipulation, and cultural warfare. It was really everything you could look for in a show.
Warfare. They literally plant a terrorist in the Middle East. Like, dude, you really have to be fucking stupid, man. You really have to be like, I can't say anything other than like, you have to be the dumbest fucking person to literally watch The Boys and be like, this is awesome. I'm a right winger and this is like speaking to all of my interests. I feel like it's like watching me. It's like watching me do commentary and being like, oh, he hates Nancy Pelosi. This guy's got some good ideas. And then like it finally registers in your mind that I fucking abhor the Republican Party. And you're like, wait, whoa, hold on now. Which, of course, history is riddled with this kind of expression going outside the targeted audience and having right-wingers not really understand it. This is precisely the reason why people thought Stephen Colbert was an unironic, funny right-winger. I repeat, Stephen Colbert, who is, you know, like my Hank Piker character, okay, but, you know, way before my time and expertly crafted, I'll hand him that. People thought he wasn't a parody, but a real right-winger. Anyway.
Show like this. I kinda checked out after season 3, partly because I was pretty burned out with superhero stories in general, even shows that subverted the genre, and partly because I could see the way The Boys was heading as a creative property.
Wait, he saw what? Like, he saw the Nicaragua operations and thought, no, dude, we had to do all of those things. How dare they make fun of them or something?
Complex, nuanced, and multifaceted characters were slowly morphing into simplified parodies of themselves. The central storyline was becoming trite and predictable, and the bitingly witty satire was becoming more overt and partisan with every season, parroting the same predictable talking points as every other Hollywood product. Basically, The Boys just wasn't cool or interesting anymore. It wasn't fighting the power, it was the power. It wasn't raging.
Okay, this is a classic right-wing approach. It wasn't raging against the machine, it became the machine, is what he's about to say. Which, again, incredibly ironic, because Rage Against the Machine always had those politics. You just personally, like a switch flicked in your fucking mind, just like The Boys, much like Rage Against the Machine, have always had the same politics. They're just leftists, and I guess you're so hyper partisan that you can't enjoy a fucking media product when it's not, you know, when it's making fun of you. That's number one. And it doesn't cause you to go, wait, but I like a lot of this stuff. Maybe I should reconsider my worldview. That should be the normal way of consuming this kind of product, right? You should look at this and go, wait, what? Why did I like so much of this, the politics of season 1? And then by season 3, I was like, I don't really like the politics anymore. Perhaps it has something to do with like the way I see the world. No, not at all. Yet him and conservatives want to vote for a guy who's a millionaire son playing Fortunate Son on an arrival to a rally. Yeah.
Against the machine, it was part of it. What was once rebellious, subversive, and irreverent had become just another mouthpiece for the safe, corporatized, hollow, and performative activism that it once so brutally mocked. So
All of the good shit from season 1 is expanded on in season 2 and 3. So I think he's completely wrong on that. He just started realizing that it was making fun of him, which, you know, probably doesn't feel good, but there is definitely probably doesn't feel good, but like that's a moment where you are supposed to go, wait, but I like all this stuff and I agree with all this stuff. Maybe I should like really reconsider the way I see the world. But no, I would not do that. That would require self-reflection. Yeah, Save Corporatized is also insane because there's a superhero orgy in season 3. I think one of the seasons literally starts off with a dude who explodes another dude's dick because he accidentally sneezes. He has the power to fucking become small, and and the other guy's like, oh, go inside of my dick hole and rub my dick hole, which he does. And then while he's in there, he's on coke and he sneezes, and then his dick explodes. Or he explodes his entire fucking body, which is like, I don't think that's like safe, nor is it, corporate. There's an orgy in every season, to be honest. But anyway.
So I wasn't exactly brimming with excitement at the prospect of sacrificing another 8 hours of my increasingly limited lifespan for the new season. Frankly, I've got better things to do with my time. But hey, maybe they managed to turn things around. I mean, Stranger Things was drinking at the Last Chance Saloon for me after a disastrously bad season 3, only for the showrunners to listen to fan complaints and come back with an absolute banger of season 4. Maybe we'd actually...
I have not watched Stranger Things after season 1, so I can't speak on that.
Get something similar here. So it was off to Rotten Tomatoes for me to check out the reviews. Not the critic reviews, of course, because nobody in their right mind gives a shit what those fucking
But yeah, no, I think that I do agree that I think The Boys and what made The Boys great, and what made it fun, I think like kind of lost its, like, I thought season 3 was worse than season 2, and I thought season 2 was worse than season 1. For the record, for The Boys, I've been pretty open about it. I'll still watch it, but the very fact that season 4 has come out and I still have not watched it, to me, in my mind at least, I feel like it, people are saying it's good, but mid take, it's all been good. No, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good overall, but like season 1 was a fucking banger. And I hope this season 4 will be will bring it back. It did lose a little bit of its novelty, and I think some of the stuff was just like a little bit repetitive maybe. But anyway, let's continue.
Chills have got to say about anything anymore. I'm talking about the audience reviews, which is the only semi-reliable barometer for quality these days, and
yeah, audience reviews are not the barometer for quality. It used to be. I don't think they are anymore because they get consistently review bombed, like Elden Ring. Okay? Elden Ring, the Shadow of the Erd Tree DLC, got phenomenal reviews early on, was obviously like acknowledged as one of the greatest DLC expansions of all fucking time by critics. And then it got fucking review bombed because people were like, oh, it's too hard. So no, unfortunately, here is yet another aspect of the internet that has been absolutely fucking destroyed. Okay. Back in the day, you could make a genuine assessment off of like critic reviews. Nowadays, it's just susceptible to the same whims of everything else online. Brigading. It's so fucking annoying.
I mean, the audience scores had been gradually declining from an all-time high of 90% in season 1 to 75% by season 3, but that's kind of in line with most shows, to be fair. But there's no denying that season 4 absolutely fell off a cliff. Good lord, I don't think I've seen a fan base turn so hard on any show since Game of Thrones. Look through the reviews and you'll see page after page of absolutely brutal.
Poor writing, forced introduction, new weak storylines, boring, not light enough like the first season. I like action, not make me laugh too.
Basically this.
Wow, what incredible reviews, man. While previous seasons would take a jab at both sides of the aisle, creating a more neutral and unbiased view of society. Oh, God. Dude, I'm sorry. Conservatives are officially, conservatives have always been massive crybabies. They are officially significantly bigger crybabies than the SJWs that they used to yell about. Okay? It's done. It's done. It is, they have been for a while, but this solidifies it. Like anything that even lightly takes a jab at conservatives, when they recognize it, they just get so fucking mad. You are literally a liberal at the end of the day. Everyone is a liberal. Liberals, all of you.
The same thing. The general consensus is that the show seems to have sacrificed writing quality and smart characters.
The fourth season just seems mean so far, and it's very boring, not entertaining at all. Even Homelander and Butcher cannot save this one as they usually do. Mean? That's your criticism? Mean? That it's fucking mean? When has it not been mean? Exploding dicks? How can you present yourself as this like edgy nihilist, but then type like a Barbara and you know, send a review note?
Characterization in favor of simplistic shock value.
Needlessly edgy and engages in the same divisive tactics against the working classes as this season's Sister Sage. It's as if conservative version of SNL made a parody of the show's stellar first 2 seasons. Sad to watch as an independent. Scenes with Urban and his wife's son were incredible. Seeing A-Train's nephews forsake him for his fake heroics moved me. Hoping to get more wholesome and solid plot like that go along with the shock value.
Value and cheap political point scoring.
Unlike other episodes, the show reflects all lefties who see anyone right of their view as Hitler. The show is also getting, there is literally Hitler in the show. It's like last season. Last season, there was a person who was alive when Hitler was alive on the show. She was a villain. This is not new. You have every opportunity to look at the situation. Or wait, that was season 2, actually. Fuck, you're right. Literally Hitler. That was 2 seasons ago. Like, okay, yeah. Let's just show this.
And alleged Nazi ties. Stormfront may be 100 years old. What's even more incredible, we have authenticated photos showing Stormfront with Nazi high command, including Goebbels and Goering. Based on the photos, it is now believed that she was the wife of Frederick Vaught, who was, of course, the founder of Vaught International.
Like, even this, like Frederick Vaught being a fucking Nazi scientist and then playing a formative role in the American military-industrial complex. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? It's not even, like, none of this is subtle. What is subtle is what I just mentioned, right? But the fact that she's a Nazi is not subtle at all. What is actually subtle, and it's like pointing to, is the fact that America, Operation Paperclip, moved a bunch of fucking Nazi scientists and brought them to the United States of America to conduct investigations, conduct scientific research. Like that's the subtle subtext, is that this is a real thing that happened in history, and they're pointing to it in this NYPD credible lead ties Stormfront to Jeffrey Epstein death. Oh my God, I didn't even notice that. That's really funny. Look at the text under Stormfront Nazi pictures leaked.
Already an intense international outcry has emerged.
I can't believe I actually have to say this day and age, but Nazis are bad.
Nazi Stormfront Hitler star, run her over with a car.
It's catchy.
Here he is.
For his
Here she is
kind.
talking about white genocide.
Bad guys want to hurt us just because of what we look like. They want to wipe us from this earth just because of the color of our skin.
Really?
It's
Like when right wingers, especially far right, like alt right people, like when they watch this, or like the average Fox News watcher watches this and goes, "Oh, she's like a hero. Is that how this works?" I genuinely want to fucking understand. I genuinely need to understand what goes on in the minds of like right wingers when they watch this. Is it just like fucking like a monkey playing the cymbals up there? Like, what's happening? What's going on? You're just watching this and like nothing sticks?
It's called white genocide.
Nazi stormfront.
It's also just a full misunderstanding. The liberalism is conservative. Like, this show comes from a further left perspective than American liberalism. It makes fun of conservatives in general. Exactly. That's part of the reason why I like it. But I just find it really fucking odd. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway.
In short, the writers have become more interested in getting their own personal ideology across